tough stretch continues for San Diego. The celebrations here in Houston as they get their second win in a row.
Another heartbreaking loss, one that will just kind of linger until the weekend, hopefully. 7 games without a win, 4 straight losses, 6 red cards in 7 games, and there's not disciplinary issues. What's going on, everybody? Host Mo, the Max Footy Pod. Sorry for the rambunctious uploads and lack thereof. Hopefully you're following the social media because that's going to start picking up as well. Short form's easier. But I wanted to go into like a breakdown of this one. This one has to be broken down, has to be talked about in its fullest extent. Making changes because bodies are there. Actually, no, let's say they're just not suspended this week. And by bodies, I was talking about how the back line was set up for San Diego FC tonight, or last night, I should say, against Houston, with Manu Dua on the left, McVeigh on the right, and Soe through the middle. And for the most part, it looked like it did well, but the question I have is why not just play it, I don't know, like the regular back four that we're used to. Chris McVeigh's played as a fullback for us before. Having Soe and Dua as the center backs, Verhoeven on one side and McVeigh on the other side, we could play our normal style, but instead we played with this 3-back, wing-back setup with one fullback that advances and another actual midfielder who's it's a cluster. This structure is questionable. This attack is questionable. This defense is questionable. The coaching is questionable. The tactics are questionable. There's a lot of questionable things going on right now. And if you listen to Mikey Varas's post-match press conference, he talks about how, he's got to be the first one to blame. He's the first one to raise his hand. It's all based off of what he's setting up, what he's doing, or for, at this point in time, the lack of better terminology, what he's not doing. There's people already, hopefully some of you guys that are watching, are already chanting, bring back Chucky. I'm just going to say this, call it a hot clip if you will, but if we're going to play a wing-back system, you need real threats on the wing. And guys who can also turn around and defend. Just saying, a spark is a spark is a spark. That'll get you going. So I'll leave that at that. I want to break this game down a little bit if I can. The positive is we won in possession. We beat them in possession, not by much, but we beat them in possession. Our XG was higher. XG is expected goals, meaning that they were hoping we would score this many. They were actually under 1 and got 1, as we were on the roll to it's 1.34, meaning that we could have easily had scored 1 and on threat to score another. However, we only had 1 big chance on our 9 shots on goal. It just wasn't, I hate saying it like this all the time, it just wasn't our night as far as trying to put it in the back of the net. The few shots that we did have off were either saved or just off because of a deflection or just not being in a better position to shoot. We have this tendency to be completely unselfish. No, brother, you take it. No, brother, you take it. No, brother, you take it. How about you, the ball carrier, take it? How about instead of trying to find the perfect space in the net, you blast one? And if it goes off the back of a defender, then yeah, sure, it's a corner. Or, again, it could be an opportunity on goal. It could be something that we make the keeper actually have to work to do. give them the challenge. You know, we had that the other week when Lewis Morgan was taking shots. We looked a threat. We looked a threat. We came up with the loss because of lack of defending, but we looked a threat. We looked like we had an opportunity to go out there and score. Even last Saturday when we were playing, and that was a poor defensive effort, but the attack looked promising. The front three looked good. You know, interchanging them, Lewis Morgan on the left with Vargsted through the middle, Dreyer actually trying to play as a right winger, which is another big issue that I have, the way that the system rolls. He's getting dropped in favor for Verhoeven. You push him through the middle, you push Anders Dreyer through the middle, taking away the thing that made him popular last season with the ability to break into the box from the right side or cross it from the right side. You're forcing him to come in, drop through the middle, and play as yet another midfielder. While, again, pushing up not a wingback of scary magnitude. Not a midfielder that could do something. He's not switching sides with Morgan or with Marcus and Vargston. No, he's switching sides with a young and at this current time on a poor performance of poor form of Oscar Verhoeven to do a cross, to do the same freaking thing every time, to work direct. I have no issues working direct. I have no issues working for the cross. But in this instance, I do when the opposing team's 2 of their 3 defenders are over 6'3". How are you going to win an aerial battle with, first off, you don't have the aerial skill as it is, except for Duran Farid. We'll get into his awesome header attempt towards the end of the game in a little bit. But how are you supposed to get your average defenders who are not winning aerial battles as it is to try and win aerial battles against towers? Against a 6'3" veteran and a 6'6" rookie? Come on. Just, come on. This is getting a bit much. The lack of ability to drive through the middle, take shots outside the box, and be brave, go out there and play footy is just gone. We're playing in a system that does not fit our players. We're playing in a system that has been exposed and broken down by the rest of the league, so they have our number. And considering that all the injuries we're dealing with, thank God guys are getting healthy, though, as we saw signs of it last night, we are so easy to break through. We give so light of tackles. Guys are not committing enough to their tackles. They're just getting blown by. Yes, I understand that we're being soft because we don't want to get penalized. We don't need any more red cards. I get it. Boy, howdy, do I get it. But something's got to change. Something's got to change. This cannot continue. Has San Diego FC been on a slump before? You bet it. Has San Diego been in an injury crisis before? You absolutely. Maybe not to this magnitude, but we have. And we've been able to crawl our way out of it. However, I said it in my last review. We got rid of Paddy McNair and we replaced him with a youngster. We didn't really add to the fullback. We just replaced Harangi and Leo Drew. You know, we didn't add to the squad. In reality, we took away from the squad. So I'm not going to yell, go get Chucky right now, but adding to the depth of this team is massive. You hear me? It's massive. So whether it can be, and it can be done right now via trades, which is the weird thing of how the MLS works. Right now, if we wanted to do transfers, if we wanted to bring in a player from a team, we would trade money for that player, aka effectively buying their contract out. I don't know of anybody right now. I will do some research and bring you guys some depth names that we should bring in. And again, these are depth pieces. These are guys in case the injuries continue in the midfield and in the defensive side. But yeah. So quickly try to get into a little breakdown of this game really quick. About the 35th minute, this is a game where the 3-back system was working pretty well. Monadua looked a threat, had 2 chances to run down the open field and take just real estate. Nothing but space. And the worst part about it is they gave him so much of it. He literally was just running, and Houston said, go on, fam. Do you. And he just kept going, making it dang near another final third before slowing down the pace, which seemed to be which is a consistent with our play. We build up to slow down to build up, rather than take the opportunity to just run at them. I hate saying it like that, to be just so plain and simple, basic football, but it's the truth. Run at them. We have the wingers. We have the midfielders. We have strikers that need to be set up in Lewis Morgan and Marcus and Varston. They need to be set up. If they are not given the ball that they need, a through ball through the middle, a cross on the outside, something long, an overlapping run, whatever, if they're not given the support, the service required for them, they're not going to score. They're not going to score because the rest of the team isn't going to even get into the box enough to take a shot. And Alex Mighton trying his hardest to break defenders and cut through the middle. But brother man, I know you're better than that. You got more moves than that. You got more moves than plop it towards the touchline, cut through them, and go get it. I know you have some feet. We know you can dribble. All right, use that dribbling ability better. Do I think he's going to start next game? Probably not. But if he does, hopefully he's listening. Houston scores in the 35th minute, and it just was exactly what we've been dealing with one of our center backs. And blame him for being young, blame him for being inexperienced, blame him for being naive, whatever you want to color the gamut. It's just been poor from Soe. Now, reality is this is the best game statistically he's had ever. Comfortable on the ball, a lot more comfortable on the ball, able to get rid of it, but his just lack of recovery pace is the issue. The inability to cover space from an attacker is just poor. And because of that led to the goal in the 35th minute. And from there on, we tried, I don't want to say everything we could to get back in the game, because in reality senses, we didn't. We continued with the same attack. We continued with get it out to Mighton, hope he breaks somebody down, try for a cross. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Okay, let's try the right side. All right, Oscar Verhoeven's going to go this time. What's going to happen now? Dreyer's going to drop through the middle. What's going to happen? He's going to lose ball in the middle of the field. Or Tverskov's going to lose the ball in the middle of the field. He's been one of the easier midfielders to break, especially after last night. That was a bad showing by Yeppe Tverskov, in my opinion, as far as ball control. This was just one of those things where call it tired. Call it overzealous. I can't help but point the fingers at the coach. I cannot help but point the fingers at the front office. Are the players not playing well enough? 100%. 100%. 100%. How many of them have gotten rest and not due to suspension? Not a lot. What massive name did we bring in to replace Chucky Lozano to help take pressure off of Anders Dreyer? We didn't. We kept Pellegrino. We didn't do the things we should have done in the offseason to keep the momentum of our year one in this. And we didn't do it. To finish off my little second half talking to, if you will, I will admit for the first time in a while, Marcus Varston coming on brought a little energy to the team. When Amal Pellegrino came on, I kind of figured maybe that might be the move. Might be the thing we needed, the pace that we need for these overlapping runs. Rather than the skill that Mighton was attempting to give us, maybe it's the pace. And then when Morgan was on the left, that looked okay for a little bit. But then in typical sophomore slump fashion, Pellegrino goes way too high for a ball. I know he's trying to be eager and overzealous for the challenge. I know he wants that goal really bad. I know he wants to be a catalyst for this team. There's no reason to be sticking your foot as high as somebody's forehead to get a ball that you were going to lose anyway. So it just, to me, was negative attempt. It's not bad luck. It's carelessness. It's overzealous. Again, it's a lack of discipline. If you were pressing to the degree in which you need to be pressing, you could win the ball back easily, even if that center back won it. Look at how we had an attempt where Marcus Varkston presses the keeper, scoops the ball from him, and then in that one instance, rather than just saying corner of the net and hitting it, because worst case scenario, it's going to get kicked out by a defender and we're going to have a corner, or there's a ricochet and somebody, maybe an Anders Dreyer or Velikari through the middle is going to be able to pick it up. But no. I need the perfect pass. I need the perfect setup. I need to be served. And that unselfishness, or whatever you want to call it, is just not good enough. It's just not good enough. We have the toughest stretch of games coming our way in May. And truth be told, it doesn't get easier this Saturday playing against Portland. And it's going to get a lot harder in 2 Saturdays when we play LAFC, when we host LAFC, who, yes, are on a downward. Yes, they've lost 2 in a row, and maybe that's our opportunity to get them, while they're reeling. But not the way we're playing right now. Not what we're doing to the magnitude of how we're doing it. Quickly, let's get into some player ratings. We start with the keep. Duran Ferree out there doing his thing as best as he can. He's getting better. A recovery game from this one. Bad showing on Saturday. Bad showing. I honestly thought maybe because CJ is getting a little more healthy, CJ Dos Santos would eventually take over the starting spot, especially for this one. Maybe that happens Saturday. But truth be told, I'd probably just stick with Ferree. When he has a bad game, he will make it up. When he has his issues, he will make it up. His shot stopping is not the best in the world, but it can be good when it is. His play out of the back is very, very comfortable. Obviously too comfortable, as we saw from last Saturday. But I still believe in him. And I still think that we should still go with him for the time being. When we get better defensive help, I promise you his game will improve that much more. Let's go with the returning Chris McVey. I give him a 7. I give Chris McVey a 7. Calm, cool, collected, nothing too crazy. He played his role well. I'm just scratching my head of why not just play him out? Why not just have him as a fullback? You know what I mean? You have him as a fullback, and that way you have Verhoeven playing as a fullback, or have Dua play as a fullback. You know what I mean? Just, again, play the traditional way that we know how to play. Allow our wingers to be wingers. Don't change this whole wing system into something weird and different, because we're playing with wing backs in a system that doesn't use the wings. And by the wings and all this terminology, what I'm saying is we have the system where most of the traffic goes from the outside lines, plays on the outside, plays wide, yet we're in here very narrow. And yet we don't idolize the wingers, the guys up top, the talent. Not to say that other people on the team aren't talent, but that's what you pay wingers for. You pay them top dollar because they're going to make the impact on the game. They're the ones that are going to turn in there and score the goals, not your fullbacks. But I'm not the coach. Sue, let's go with Sue. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. For his lack of pace, his lack of recovery, everything else he did on the night was awesome. The one instance he did bad, every other instance he was pretty good. His recovery, again, is garbage. Somebody needs to work on the speed for the kid. But everything else, good. Better. He'll get the 7. Let's go with Mommy Dua. I give him an 8. I give him an 8. Why is he not playing fullback? Like, he played fullback-ish for the first half. He played a wingback-ish, going up to as high as he can carry the ball, pushing the envelope, if you will. Why not do that more often? With, again, all the injuries we have, you just saw that we know how good of a ball carrier he is. We know how good of a pace he has. Again, why not play him in that role and get him going? It's simple. It's simple. Other side, we'll go Oscar Verhoeven. It's a recovery game for Oscar Verhoeven. He gets a 6, not a 5, not a 7, but he'll get a 6. Giggity. And as much as, again, he's trying his hardest, he just doesn't have it in the attacking sense to be that big a threat for us. He's also struggling still defensively. So, it's a problem. It's a problem. Annabelle Godoy. I'll give Annabelle Godoy a 7. This guy works his behind off. For a veteran of, I forget how many years in the MLS, but so many I lost count. And the captain of the Panama national team. The guy's a godsend. Really is. I'm glad we re-signed him because when he and Tverskov are in the middle patrolling it all, they're very good. They're very good. It is an awesome pairing because they cover each other's gaps. Wherever Godoy isn't, Tverskov is. Good on the ball, good control, ability to get it out and get creative as well as they can from the deep spots, that is. Yeah, Barry Tverskov, the captain, I give him a 6. Give him a 6. It's another one of these games where he works his butt off. 7. Let's make it a 7. Because he works his butt off, because he drops in the middle and plays defense, because he's trying to make something creative, because he's trying to push the ball forward. Yeppe Tverskov, good night on him. 7. We'll go with Alex Mighton. I was hoping for more, but I'll stick with the 6. I'm not going to go below that. I like Mighton. He's a threat when he's on. When he's not, he's just there. But we could say the same thing about a certain striker. Might will get better as the season goes along. Finding the answer on the left is going to have to be another one of those things that we do ASAP Rocky, as fast as we can, preferred. But that's possibly where Pellegrino is going to step back in, especially, again, with the guys getting healthy. Pilcher looks like he could be back. I don't really see Soe playing on Saturday. I could see us going back to the system. Carey and Sargent was booked questionable for this game. Maybe he's ready by Saturday. Maybe we go back to having fullbacks. Maybe we go back to an actual 4-4-3. Maybe. Valakari. Oni Valakari. When this guy is doing what he's supposed to do, he's great. When he's running around like a chicken with a head cut off, which is what he did in this one, I start to question, why did we sign Duke if we're not going to start him? Why did we bring in a guy that was a creator for one team, but yet we're not going to do anything for our team? Just saying. He'll recover. But I kind of want to see Bryce Duke start on Saturday over him. Anders Dreyer. Anders Dreyer worked his butt off again. The way he works in this system is so weird. They make him do everything and nothing all at the same time because they're just gunning for him. He gets a 7. Anders Dreyer, I'm telling you. If you want to see glimpses of Anders Dreyer of yesteryear, last year, I know that's yesteryear normally means many years ago, but last season, you'll play him on the outside more. You'll play him far on the wings, allowing him to get crosses deep from that corner flag and from out there, allowing more shots in on goal. Remember, he had more assists than he did goals to start the season. And then the goals started picking up more. And then it all started going. And then he was MVP, and then he wasn't because of Messi, but he's our MVP. And he could be playing better if you play him in the position and in the role he knows within this system. And I'm going to finish player-wise with Lewis Morgan. He gets a 6. Little to no touches. It's when this system is set up for the striker to have to get service, it's a detriment. It is a detriment to this team. He can drop in as often as he wants, all that fun jazz. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough for the strikers you have. Okay, if you're not going to use the wings and idolize the system of through balls, overlapping runs, early crosses, whatever, then you cannot set up these strikers with service. And if you're not going to do that, then play in the system that works so that way they can run across the forward line and make a difference. There's a way to fix this. There's a way to fix it. And Mikey, I give Mikey a 5. I was going to give him a 5 in the Saturday game review. And at this point, the questions are being asked. What would you rather have? The quote-unquote crybaby prima donna that is Chucky Lozano? Or would you rather continue on with this young man, lack of discipline mentality that is Mikey Varas? Am I saying I'm not happy with Mikey Varas? No. Am I saying that I want to get rid of Mikey Varas? No. What I'm saying is this is 7 games winless with an injury crisis. And yet, for some reason, nobody has the answer to this. Not the front office, not the head coach, not the players themselves. But the problem is, with all that, I get that they don't see the problem. I understand that they can't really diagnose the problem. But the facts of the matter is there are people that are telling you how to fix it. There are people that are showing you that going back to the basics, going back to the roots of the game that you know how to play, the way we played last season, could get us the results we want. It does not require bending backwards and go getting a player. I've already brought him up 3 different times. This is the 3rd. But to change the tactics in a positive, to go back to what the team knows, adjusting accordingly and playing our way. It's simple, Mikey. It's simple. Go back to utilizing the wings. Go back to running into open space and go back to being fearless in front of goal, not unselfish. Otherwise, it will be 8 straight games without a dub. And I bet you, no matter how much luck we may have, I don't see us getting many points in this form in the month of May. Changes have to happen. I appreciate y'all joining me. This is Rant Fest, if ever. Not scripted, right off the top of the dome, but we got to give you the player ratings. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I will be back with a preview for the game against Portland, and then, of course, live coverage from the supporter section. Changes have to come. They have to come. We'll see y'all out there. And as always, as hard as it is right now,